Hello everybody and welcome to the first of a three-part video series where we will be doing an overview of the story from the Dragon Age comic book series. The story in these comic books takes place in between the end of Dragon Age 2 and the start of Inquisition, following the characters of Alistair, Varric, and Isabella, plus some others that will go unmentioned, but it goes without saying that there will be a lot of spoilers in these videos. However, I won't cover every single detail of the comics themselves. I do suggest picking them all up since they're absolutely amazing, and they're quite cheap. I'll put a store link for the digital versions of them in the description of this video, but these videos should serve as a really easy way of catching up to the story thus far. That way you're prepared to play Inquisition. In this video, we'll be looking at the first of 3 different volumes in today's video, titled The Silent Grove. The story begins with Varric, Isabella, and of course, Alistair arriving at an Antiva city on the coast of Ralto Bay. As they fight their way quietly into the compound, we learn that Alistair has hired Varric and Isabella to help him look for King Merrick, which is Alistair's father. Without too much time passing, they find themselves entering a library where Varric and Isabella disable a ton of traps, undoubtedly set up to protect the secrets that lay within it. Suddenly, a group of people interrupt our intruders, and we're introduced to the new character of Claudio Valisti, whom Isabella is actually well acquainted with, seeing as her late husband, that she had killed, was a business partner with Claudio, and we learn this all shortly thereafter when the group is waiting in a nearby pub. We also learn that Alistair was actually put in touch with Claudio through Zevran, who was one of Dragon Age Origins' main party members that you could get. Between the library and Claudio, Alistair is able to get some confirmation on the potential whereabouts of Merrick. And with that information, the party sets out to break into Villablanchel prison, which is where the crows apparently lock men away for fun and torture. As is typical in the Dragon Age universe, things don't go quite according to plan. Varric and Isabella have to hold off guards while Alistair ends up going deeper into the prison to find Merrick. But once he gets to his cell, he doesn't find Merrick. Instead, he finds a very old man that used to be cellmates with him before he was released long ago. The 3 then escape with the old man on Isabella's ship. After feeding the poor guy, they end up getting some answers from him regarding where Merrick may have went. According to him, Merrick was freed by the Witch of the Wilds. However, it wasn't Flemeth, it was someone named Yavanna, who lives in the nearby Talari swamps. We also learn that Merrick left a message for Alistair with the old man. The message was that he had to do it, and he was sorry. Needless to say, the group then sets sail for the swamps, and after a really long trek, are then confronted by a dragon, when suddenly Yavanna intervenes and commands the dragon to stand down. Perplexed, Alistair asks why the dragon didn't kill them. Yavanna responds to Alistair that the dragon could smell the old blood within Alistair. Clearly, she actually knows who he is. We quickly learn that Yavanna is actually Morrigan's sister, and she agrees to tell Alistair why she freed Merrick from the prison. They go to the Silent Grove, which according to Yavanna is a temple that was built after the fall of the Tevinter Imperium by people who knew that the dragons would need protection from the ignorance of mankind. She then hints that the blood of the dragons is the blood of the world, but that it's beyond the group's comprehension. However, she does inform them that Flemeth saved Merrick's life long ago, and he was permitted to restore his kingdom and rule as king until his children were grown. After that, he needed to come to the Silent Grove to help Yavanna perform some task that she doesn't necessarily go into detail on. And after prying a bit too much, the group is forced away by the dragon and Yavanna's magic. They are then ambushed by Claudio's men later on in the swamp. After a small little fight, Alistair surrenders himself as a prisoner to Claudio in order to save Varric and Isabella, who are allowed to leave. But we all know how Varric and Isabella are. They quickly decide that they need to go back and rescue the king from Claudio. They set off to go find Yavanna again to ask her for her help, and after a short exchange, Varric and Yavanna strike a deal. Yavanna heals their wounds completely and tells them to go free Alistair. During said rescue, Isabella ambushes Claudio and cuts off his hand during the duel. Shortly thereafter, she jumps on him and stabs him through the heart, killing him. Alistair in the moment tried to stop her because they still needed information, but he was unable to restrain her in time. Fortunately for them, Yavanna shows up and assures the group that the truth is never out of reach. She then pulls Claudio's spirit back from the Fade and puts it in his dead body, and after some mild persuasion, Claudio reveals the name of his master, Aurelian Titus, before Yavanna finishes the job turning him to complete ash. The group then makes their way back to the Silent Grove, where Yavanna leads Alistair down into the depths of the temple. She shows him the Hall of the Sleepers, where thousands of dragon eggs nested, although many have already died in their sleep. We learn that the powerful dragons were always beyond Yavanna's reach of waking up, but with the use of King Merrick's blood, which was the blood of Galahad the Great, first king of Ferelden, she was able to wake up the Queen of Dragons. After that, Titus had taken King Merrick because, according to Yavanna, he was a fool that desired more power. Yavanna then tells Alistair that he too has the old blood within him, and she tries to tempt Alistair to awaken the last of the great dragons. Yavanna promises that if he does, they will find his father together so that he can relieve Alistair of the crown that burdens him so much. But Alistair denies her temptation, to which she responds with asking Alistair what is his purpose. He stoutly says, "Justice," before stabbing and killing her with his sword. Then, after Alistair goes back to the other two, Alistair tells them that he is tired of being a pawn and that he is going to find Titus. That is where the Silent Grove ends, and we will pick up this thrilling story in the next video where we will discuss what happens in the next comic, Those Who Speak. But until then, we shall see you guys next time.